it's Irina here. Have you seen those before and after photos on Facebook? I bet you have because I have seen lots of them. And do they make you feel that there's something wrong with you because you can't seem to break the barrier? It's like you try to lose weight, but something just keeps you back. It's maybe you feel that the cravings are so strong. You wonder, what do those people do? There are so many diets out there, exercises, and do they really work? Is it really so simple that you just do an exercise or you follow a diet and you lose weight? Well, if you're frustrated, then you're totally normal because there are some things that very few people share with you and with women who are, and it is mostly us women who are walking in these shoes. And this is that our eating and our eating habits have everything to do with our emotions and with our relationship with ourselves. I am not saying that no one ever succeeded in making those before and after photos. You see, the problem comes when we feel emotionally challenged again, and then suddenly we find ourselves eating again as a stress relief. You see, this closes a circle, and this circle is not so easy to break. So it is totally normal if you are in this circle, because that shows that your brain works for you. It is actually trying to keep you safe. It's trying to reduce your tension. Why do these cravings come, and what are these cravings? You see, eating, and especially with us women, is an emotional issue. We tend to accumulate so much stress in our bodies and in our souls, in our hearts, that our brain literally doesn't find any better solution for reducing this stress but to eat. And if you just think of those moments when you gave in to cravings, when you binged, it's always somehow connected to that tension, to that stress. Somebody said something bad to you, or you were stressed at work. Whatever happened, your brain just started to feel worried about you. And the only solution that it had at that moment was to give you the food that will give you that soothing feeling that it's okay. It's a warm feeling. It's just stress and tension going away, even if for a very short period of time. The brain doesn't think at those moments, in those moments, about the long-term effects of that eating, because it has to save you right now, and I know that it might sound weird, but actually your brain is working for you in a loving way. It doesn't want to hurt you with making you gain weight. On the contrary, it tries to keep you away from pain. It's a protecting force in your life. Now you see, when you start dieting, what happens is that you deprive yourself of this relief. You deprive yourself of these moments of joy, of these moments of just letting go, just feeling good. It's really just a moment of comfort. When you try to follow a diet, what happens is that you deprive yourself of this comfort, and the tension starts to grow. This tension will switch your nervous system to the fight or flight mechanism, that is the sympathetic nervous system. What you need to know about this is that it will trigger some hormones like cholesterol, um, that will make you store fat instead of using fat and burning fat. It will make you crave for sugar because your blood sugar level will show spikes. Your insulin will kick in, you see, and that will create those cravings for sugar, for chocolate, for some ice cream, for something like that. And your brain knows exactly that sugar will trigger some hormones in your brain that will make you feel better, endorphins and such things. So your whole system is fighting to reduce your pain and make you feel comfortable. So that is the reason why you eat. And that is the reason why your body just chooses this lesser bad and just to stay away from the pain. How does this pain come to life? Why is it there? You see, since our childhood, we have accumulated so many negative energies, feelings of shame, feelings of being rejected, being ridiculed or humiliated, feelings of guilt, feelings that we don't have the right for our emotional needs. We don't have the right to feel loved, or we don't have the right for positive attention, affection, whatever. We feel we have internalized the feelings and perspectives of others, the criticism, this harsh, rude rejection in many cases, abuse even. So we start abusing ourselves. So no matter what you have had in your childhood or what experiences you had, it all just built up in you. It sank down into your subconscious mind, and all that pain just accumulated. And after a while, it became so intense that your body just had to find some solution to deal with it. And that's how this eating became your comfort. How can you then make the diet or follow a diet or do exercises so that you don't increase the tension? Well, first of all, it's crucially important to get in touch with your feelings, to work on these feelings, to find out what they want from you. The more you try to reject them, the more you try to explain that without really letting them in, understanding them in your heart, and giving them what they really truly need. Without this, you will just keep suppressing them, trying to reject them. These feelings come from your true divine self. It is a distorted type of energy, and when you reject it, you reject yourself. I know that most women are conditioned, almost every one of us was conditioned to reject ourselves in one way or another. We all have these ideals, how we should look, how we should behave, what are our roles in a family, in a relationship. We shouldn't be egoistic, we should be giving and forgiving. And those ideas, all those expectations, all those difficult moments, they just weigh down us, and this builds this self-rejection, this builds this feeling of shame. And you know, excess weight is shamed today in our society, but we have also learned to shame ourselves, and not just for excess weight. Excess weight is actually just the tip of the iceberg. There are all those things for which we shame ourselves. We shame ourselves for not being good enough. We might shame ourselves for some things that we have done in the past. We shame ourselves for not meeting the expectations of others, the expectations of our family. We shame ourselves for not being perfect. We have created, and partly we have internalized, a critical self, you know, that little voice at the back of your mind which is saying what you're doing wrong, when you're looking ridiculous, what you're doing is crazy, and there's something wrong with you. You know, that little voice. And we get used to it. It becomes automatic. Before we do anything, we already can hear its voice criticizing, judging, and just bleeding us out. So this is the problem. This is how deep this iceberg goes. So what you can do is actually communicate with your own feelings. Stop rejecting them. You are not shameful for having bad feelings. I also know that we try to be spiritual, and this is again an expectation from, I don't know, we just take it from the world. There's that expectation to have these positive feelings for everything, you know, just love and peace and everything nice and rosy. But in fact, most of our feelings are not so fluffy and rosy and cute. We have lots of very negative feelings. If we try to deny them because we try to be good, we try to be spiritual, or we try to be just, you know, good women, good people, what we do is actually we are rejecting them. We are rejecting that part of ourselves which is in pain, and this pain creates these distorted feelings. It can be hatred, it can be jealousy, it can be envy. And yes, we are envious because whenever we see something that we can't have because we have almost lost our hope, or there's a part of us which has kind of accepted that this is beyond our reality, then we feel that pain, that envy, and we also feel jealousy because we fail to connect with love to ourselves. We reject ourselves, so we expect others to reject us. We start to abuse ourselves with these feelings, with our behavior, with just hurting ourselves emotionally. And all this just adds up. So we need to embrace these negative feelings. Yes, I know that it's not a pretty thing. It's not how we expect it to be. Yes, we have to accept our anger. Yes, we have to get in touch with that anger, understand what created that anger. We need to get in touch with our hatred to ourselves or to others, to to be able to understand why and how it was created, it was born. From what was this hatred born? We need to accept our frustration. We need to accept our shame. And probably that is the most difficult of all, because shame is most painful. Shame is that absolute rejection of ourselves, because it doesn't have an ounce of hope. Shame is when they say that you are bad, that you will never be good enough, that you are just faulty, you are flawed. This is shame. And the moment someone says that or said that to you when you were little, or just behaved in a way that suggested that you should feel ashamed, that gave your mind and your brain the message that you are a shameful thing. That is an attribute. That is not some behavior that you can change, but that has become a part of you. You have become, for your mind, for your brain, something that cannot be accepted because it is shameful, and it will stay that way. You see, that is how shame just binds us. It locks us up in this state, in this place of no hope. Of course, some other parts of us try to fight this shame, try to cling on to hope, and we can step by step overcome this shame. But we need to understand what we are facing. And no matter how unpleasant this might be, but our shame is actually our enemy. This is what we need to look in the eyes instead of running away and feeling ashamed. We need to look it in the eyes and understand, where does it come from? Is it really so? Shame and this internalized critical self, this criticism, they make you believe that what they say to you is reality, when in fact it is not. It is just something that you believed in, and you made this your reality. So when you start to understand that what shame shows to you, what your critical little voice in your head tells you, is just a lie, it is not true. You may feel ashamed, yes, for things that you have done, or you might understand that you have felt ashamed for things that were expected of you. And you felt ashamed of being your true you. And that is very painful. The good news is there is a way out. When you start to communicate with these feelings, when you start to understand that your true self is divine energy, there's nothing to be ashamed of. There are things that you might have done that were painful, that you might feel guilty about. Yes, we all do such things. Yes, we all make mistakes. These are lessons. We hurt ourselves with our mistakes, but they are lessons. They are not a life sentence. We need to learn from them and not keep punishing ourselves till the end of times, because that won't help. That won't help growth. That won't share or bring love to the world around you, to the people around you. That will only just strengthen these negative energies. So I know that we are talking about losing weight and how you can stick to your diet, how you can get rid of cravings. But the reason why I went so deep into this topic is because this is the real cure to this problem. You can reset your body and you can follow excellent diets and fastings, yes, but you need to make this internal transformation, and your body will be more than happy to finally shed all those burdens because it doesn't need it any longer. You see, it was carrying this burden for you, and now it can finally let go of all that burden, of all that stress, all that tension, all that self-negativity, self-rejection, all those limiting feelings, limiting ideas. And that's how you become a completely new person. And weight won't be an issue anymore because you will finally control your own energies. And with that, you will control your weight easily and just naturally. So thank you for listening to my message. And I hope it gave you some really deep insights into your own problems. It just rang a bell. It resonated with those feelings that want to communicate with you, want your attention, and want your care and love. Your inner self needs that. So if you like this video, please subscribe. And if you have any further questions or you want to discuss your specific issue, then just let me know. Just drop me a message or just comment below and I will get to you then. Thank you very much and see you. Bye bye.